Good evening, everyone. I'm Renee Pasal. Thank you for joining us tonight for this special presentation. Over the next half an hour, WDIO and the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation will highlight the outstanding work that has made the Northland a better place. This Touchstone Celebration will demonstrate the values of the Community Foundation: opportunity, resilience, and belonging. Here's more perspective from the Foundation President, Sean Flurkey, about the Touchstone honor and why it matters.
The ability for them to reach their audiences in a way that they probably can't do on their own. Secondly, it helps us share the word about what we're involved in and how folks can join and where their giving can go and the differences people can make by giving to a community foundation. So twofold. One, shares the message of this beautiful work that folks are doing, and two, it shares and invites folks to come into our work.
Thank you, Sean. We'll hear more from him later in the evening. A reminder that each honoree is getting additional support from the foundation. They'll receive $2,000 to continue helping our communities. So let's get started. The first honoree is Mentor North and how they are growing their mentor base, which is key because kids are waiting to meet you.
Well, I got most of the dead and white stuff gone.
Nice.
From over here. Yeah, it's looking good.
Billings Park is looking better these days.
Have you found a frog yet?
After a Mentor North evening event focused on grounds and garden cleanup.
Since COVID got over, it's really kicked in, and they've been doing a lot of fantastic things.
Charlotte and Christine are a pretty fun pair.
With Christine, she keeps me young, and so we go on a lot of adventures, and we kind of step out of our comfort zone and we try new things.
They've been making memories for 5 years now. Taking in plays and musicals, getting into a hot air balloon, and cross-country skiing. Plus, Christine is becoming more confident.
I've learned that it's good to be yourself and not hold anything back, and to be friends with other people that you've never met before.
Veronica.
She's fun, she's funny, she does all these events, and I am included in them, especially in the summer.
But you can help pull some weeds.
And Ariel.
My favorite is when we did the sailing on Lake Superior. We got to do that last summer and this summer.
They too are developing a deeper relationship.
It's a lot more rewarding than I was expecting. Just that connection that you would end up developing.
Mentor North is hoping to recruit more adults to match with kids who are waiting.
We're definitely focusing on diversity and simply recruitment of mentors from all different generations, identities, backgrounds.
Executive Director Jill Hinners told us that a grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped them create and sustain a mentor engagement coordinator.
The thrust of this project too was to try to we had such a downswing, as many nonprofits did, in engagement during the height of the pandemic.
They've been doing outreach at places like Pride and Juneteenth. Plus, they organize their own.
Actually, we just had our annual barbecue in August. We just had a mentor and then their mentee's family that were all kind of came together to enjoy the barbecue together.
Hinners told us being a Touchstone honoree is meaningful.
This award represents to me this acknowledgement that mentoring matters, and it ripples out into the entire community, and everyone benefits.
And just helps motivate them to keep making more matches.
Everyone say Pokemon!
And great job, everyone. Mentor North would love to hear from you if you're interested in making a difference in a young person's life. And now for a little surprise message from Mentor North.
Really want to extend deep gratitude and congratulations to the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation on the occasion of their 40th anniversary. 40 years of uplifting lives in the Twin Ports community and beyond. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
MPECU is proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundations as they work to improve the lives of Northlanders across our region. At Freiberger Law Office, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and their positive impact on the community. At Whitflea, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and all the area nonprofits whose mission they help to fulfill.
At Minnesota Power, we're putting sustainability into action and proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation.
Belonging, opportunity, resilience. This is the Touchstone Celebration.
Finding a way to fit in can be difficult sometimes, but a program called Welcoming Community is aimed at creating a more inclusive future. It's run by the Northspan group, and they are our next Touchstone honoree.
I think it's so valuable when we're able to have conversations like this, and sometimes there's not that space in our communities.
But the Equity Summit is the perfect space.
Our table talked a lot about representation in the arts, and so our toast is to representation, and our commission is to ask who's not here represented in the space. So everywhere we go, looking about us and looking at the art that is displayed or that we hear or that we smell or that we feel, and asking who is not here and including them and inviting them into that space.
Held October 4th, it's a big part of the Welcoming Community program run by the Northspan group.
Right after that break, we are going into our lightning round.
Amber Lewis is the lead on this.
So the goal of the Welcoming Community program, I'll start with that, is to increase belonging of people from underrepresented groups and then really build trust between people from all different backgrounds and lived experiences. The goal of the summit is to bring those people together who are working towards creating inclusive and welcoming and belonging in our communities, to bring them together to let one another know what work they're doing.
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped sustain her position with Northspan, so she could solidify the program and open up all the possibilities.
We know these people are doing this work, and we've heard this and we've heard this, but everyone was kind of doing it in a tunnel and kind of quietly. So we were trying to figure out how can we bring people together to celebrate what they're doing and continue to learn from each other and just lift it up, while also just the community is welcome to come and learn, but really trying to create that space to say what you're doing matters.
And it does matter to those who are driving these forces forward.
Just getting people out of pockets of these small towns, small communities to talk about big things, I think that's important.
Nathaniel Coward is a co-founder of VIMA, Voices for Ethnic and Multicultural Awareness, which was founded after the murder of George Floyd. He believes things are changing.
It's easier to talk with people who got like minds, so it's simple and normal. I think we're moving in a good direction because the more people that hear, the more they talk about it, the more it spreads. I think the better it is to get out and get people who are afraid to talk, afraid to be in these spaces, to speak and be in these spaces, and then I think it's going in a good direction.
A direction where barriers are broken down and people believe they truly belong. And thank you for having us at the summit. We can't wait to see what you'll do next. And Northspan helped our next honoree, the Family Freedom Center. This nonprofit is helping hundreds of families in Duluth with recreation, education, and empowerment. Alyssa likes to lay down beats.
But I'm just putting in the filters right now.
And she's got a pretty sweet space for those sounds.
We're in Studio X right now, named after Xavier Bell, who is the founder of Family Freedom Center.
Just outside the music area is the salon.
But it's really a place that was built as the first installment of our START program. START stands for Skilled Trades, Arts, Robotics, and Technology. It's a mouthful, I know, but it's a big program with big dreams and plans to introduce youth and young adults to technology-driven career pathways.
Funding from the Ordine Foundation made this possible, and now funding from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation is helping them keep it going.
What we're really working to do here at Family Freedom Center is to build wealth within the Black community. What a lot of people might not know about the Black community is we are very talented, and we are full of skills and talents and traits that have a lot to offer to the greater community. And our job is to really showcase that talent and to foster that creativity to provide opportunities for families to build generational wealth.
Meanwhile, the 400 other kids who walk through the doors each year are enjoying so many other activities. On this day, making more boxes for indoor gardening, and across the hall, a good game of basketball. All of this is part of what was known as Neighborhood Youth Services,
3, 2, 1.
which Family Freedom took over last year. Aaron Gelino has been with the program for nearly 30 years.
We've always been very effective. I mean, yeah, we're averaging more kids right now, but the main reason for that is because we have one of the strongest staff that I've ever been a part of in 28 years. Yeah, I mean, we've got college kids here. We have recently graduated college kids. We have 3 staff members that were former students here that I worked with.
Now they're rebranding it as the center, where birthdays are taken seriously.
Happy birthday to you.
And so is the motivation for more experiences.
When Family Freedom Center took over Neighborhood Youth Services, it was very clear with our leadership team that our goal was not to merely keep the doors of NYS open, but to really bring more resources and programs, specifically educational programs, outdoor recreation programs, into the Central Hillside neighborhood, because honestly, it's what our kids deserve. They deserve the best opportunities and the best resources that we have to offer.
That includes their annual Big Tent event. This was their 3rd one, and a big part was about warmth. They gave away $10,000 worth of merchandise, like winter coats. Plus, people could get in some pumpkin carving and a burger with all the fixins. There we caught up with Portia Johnson.
This is a great event, giving back to the community,
who weighed in on the momentum at the center.
And I am so happy. I am tremendously happy that Family Freedom and NYS have combined their services, their staff.
One mom we met said her son was able to canoe for the first time thanks to the center, and her daughter is back on track after losing her way a little bit.
With help from the staff, with them, everybody worked together. It was like a small community, and we got her back on the right path, and now look at her now. She's here working, and I'm proud of her. I tell her that all the time, how proud I am. But with that program and the center being there, I don't think I could have just done it by myself, you know?
It feels like they're a big extended family and fostering positive change and focused on fulfilling their futures.
Have a great time. Make yourselves at home, because this is Freedom Farms and this is your home.
And if we could have hung out all day at the center, we would have so much fun there. And they have more planned for the days and years ahead because they are investing in those energetic and excited kids. And now their personal messages.
Well, we want to just say thank you so much to the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. 40 years, pretty amazing, and all the support to Northspan and the community programming across our region. Thank you so much.
I have seen so many different events and initiatives and programs happening in the community, and more times than not, it's Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation that's behind those amazing initiatives. So thank you for all your support and all the things you do in the community.
Hi, DSACF. On behalf of Family Freedom Center and the Central Hillside neighborhood, I'd like to congratulate you on 40 years. That's getting quite up there. But I want to let you know how much we appreciate the work that you all do and how you have been supporting our community for such a long time, but yet are still capable of staying with the times and staying cutting edge with what our community needs. We have a lot of big dreams and big goals, and we look forward to partnering with you all to make those dreams and goals come true for our community. So congratulations.
MPECU is proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundations as they work to improve the lives of Northlanders across our region. At Freiberger Law Office, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and their positive impact on the community. At Whitflea, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and all the area nonprofits whose mission they help to fulfill.
At Minnesota Power, we're putting sustainability into action and proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation.
Have some more of my pot roast.
Hungry for laughs? Then enjoy 2 helpings of humor every weeknight. Whether it's a main dish,
steak,
something lighter,
sandwiches from the mess tip,
or just dessert,
make way for the ice cream.
get your fill of funny with Mash and Andy.
WDIO DT2, Me TV.
Belonging, opportunity, resilience. This is the Touchstone Celebration.
The pandemic changed many things in our world, and for our next honoree, it gave them a chance to try something new for the people they serve. And UDAC is beyond pleased with how it's all working. Despite it being the end of the growing season,
Pretty much like that deep. So if you set your spade in there and just see.
these folks from UDAC spent time at the community garden at Harrison Park.
Well, we planted some garlic. We dug holes and we put the garlic in it.
Oh, that one's coming on.
They continue to grow their skills.
Yep, drop it in.
That's all based on the personal growth model, something new developed during the pandemic.
The personal growth model is about empowerment and choices, and what it looks at is the barriers and stereotypes that might exist for an individual and helps them begin to dismantle those in the community so that they become more a part of the community and are successful in the types of things that they want to do.
Take your pick.
Such as the garden club.
I like it because it is very fun to do.
A grant supported this change from center-based activities to this.
Our transformation was really made possible by having the money that Duluth Superior Community Foundation has given us. That was the start.
And they are really going, from the colleges to the airport to the schools and healthcare.
We also created an internship with Essentia so that we're able to introduce several different departments to an individual, again, helping people make a much more informed choice on what is helpful to them and what is not helpful to them when it comes to work.
For Jessica, that means time at Essentia's Center for Personal Fitness at the mall.
I fold the towels, so I like it. I've been almost 2 years.
Her brother Ben has been cleaning at a senior living facility, but no longer needs a job coach to stay with him. And he recently learned some new bus schedules.
It did make a little bit of adjustment, and it took a while for us to get used to it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. I'm mastering it.
Tracy is working on a plan for herself.
I'm interested in volunteering, like with kids at the Y or an animal shelter with the cats.
After all, if you're not offered the chance, how will you know?
No, I've never done that before. That's new to me.
That you can grow.
Oh, I can't wait to see it happen next year.
We're seeing great successes with empowerment and inclusion in the community and expanding really what people are able to do because they've had the opportunity and chance to do that.
Just really thrilled with what our transition has done for people, and we're not done.
Just like that garlic.
So we're just going to spread it all over the top.
UDAC is cultivating more community.
UDAC won another award, and I think that is very special because UDAC helps people out a lot, especially people with disabilities.
And we will have to check out that garlic in the spring, guys. Thanks for letting us hang out in the garden with you. Our next honoree is the Conflict Resolution Center Duluth. Their mission to break down barriers and build bridges, and they do that by transforming conflict into opportunity and harms into healing.
And one of the main things that we do talk about is that we try to normalize conflict. Conflict is an everyday thing.
But it doesn't have to rule your life. A healing or community circle can help you address what's happening. Jeswa Harris is the Youth and Restorative Services Coordinator for CRC Duluth. He feels passionately about discussing the underlying reasons for those feelings.
So where do young people go to have a conversation about why they're angry about this or that? All the stuff that happens on social media, why are they triggered when someone calls them this name or says this thing about them?
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped them reach even more people. He and Erica Backstrom, the program director at Duluth CRC, are also educating themselves by attending events like the St. Louis County Health and Human Service Conference. They've done work at the Arrowhead Juvenile Center, with Family Rise Together, and the homeless.
We also felt like it was very important to hold
space with members of our unhoused community. So our series of circles at the Damiano Center just welcomed members of our community who really came together and showed a lot of care for each other.
They are also hoping to see if they can bring volunteer mediators back into the courts.
You know, when people in general are going into a courthouse, it's pretty scary. And you know, maybe they're going in for a conciliation court, harassment court, housing, and they're already just feeling the weight of all of that. And so to then have the option of mediation available that's at no cost to them is something that we really believe is necessary and should be available for everyone.
The Conflict Resolution Center also has branches in the Twin Cities and St. Cloud. The one in Duluth has been open since 2014 and since then has been helping create safer spaces for sharing, which is empowering.
So coming together, just having a place where they can understand, learn, feel supported, and sometimes just express themselves. We really believe that giving a person a voice, opportunity to have their voice heard, is very powerful.
And they too are celebrating 40 years as an organization tonight. In fact, 1983 must have been a good year. And here's another chance for these honorees to show some gratitude.
I want to say thank you to the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation for the amazing work they do in the community, and congratulations on 40 years of outstanding contributions to Duluth and the area. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Congratulations on 40 years, and thank you for being an outstanding community partner.
The Conflict Resolution Center of Duluth is extremely grateful to the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation for their foundational support that has been truly transformational. The foundation's support has made it possible for us to put necessary infrastructure in place to strengthen relationships and to expand our reach in this region.
MPECU is proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundations as they work to improve the lives of Northlanders across our region. At Freiberger Law Office, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and their positive impact on the community. At Whitflea, we are proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and all the area nonprofits whose mission they help to fulfill.
At Minnesota Power, we're putting sustainability into action and proud to support the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation.
Belonging, opportunity, resilience. This is the Touchstone Celebration.
And last but not least, we take a trip up the shore. The North Shore Healthcare Foundation is focused on a healthier community, and that includes addressing conflict, which often means harnessing strength and courage and shared humanity. Even on a wild and windy day, Grand Marais is pretty great, but even a pretty tourist town has its troubles. That's why the Restorative Justice program is here to help.
The Restorative Justice program is a new program to the North Shore Healthcare Foundation. It came on board with us in January of 2020.
Cases which usually involve youth are referred from the courts or probation or the school. Volunteer facilitators with training work with both parties who were harmed and those who did the harming. The program chair, Inger Andrus, explains.
2 facilitators are assigned to a case, and they then really spend time individually with the participants and their support people. And then once we've kind of prepared both parties, then we ask if they are willing to meet face-to-face.
Those meetings are done at the neutral Cook County Higher Ed building. Inger shared about a bullying case that has led to a better outcome.
By the time we were finished, about 3 months after from the time we were referred the case, these 2 individuals at school were sitting in, student rally in the gym, near each other and not afraid of one another.
Another stemmed from an incident at a playground.
There was a huge recognition, and the whole room, the magic, the whole shift of the attitude of what had happened got completely cleared up. And he just stood up, he put his hand out there, and he said, "I'm so sorry. I did not know that."
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation has allowed them to expand.
We were able to add a case coordinator and open some larger scale trainings to the community and to neighboring lake counties.
They've worked on about 30 cases.
One of the key priorities of the foundation is children's mental health and substance misuse. And one of the things that Restorative Justice does is provides, kind of a second chance and teaches healthy conflict resolution and how to live in community post-incident.
And they've been able to add truancy solutions to get kids back on track with school.
So it involves individual and group mentoring as well as resource connections.
Their work spreads organically as well.
And we even had somebody from Seattle and New York who were in our last circle training, because people come up here and visit from all over, and they're taking it back to their workplace and their community and what they learned. So that's what this is all about.
Each case, a chance to see a new way to work through differences.
Parents who are here supporting in the meetings, and then you see them in the corner tearing up and understanding, realizing that there was things in their life that they didn't handle this way, and now they see can be handled this way. So the ripple effect is profound.
Just like the ripples and waves people enjoy seeing out on the Great Gitche Gumee. And finally, their thoughts for the foundation.
To Sean and all of the staff at Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation and those who have been a part of it over the last 40 years, congratulations on your 40th anniversary. And we just want to thank you for all the support you give to programs across the region. I know on behalf of the North Shore Healthcare Foundation, we are so grateful for the grants and the support that you have given our foundation to help all of those in Cook County. So thank you, and we wish you continued success.
Happy 40th anniversary. Thank you, Sean, and all the wonderful board there at Duluth Superior Area Foundation. You actually are the first grantor that Restorative Justice in Cook County received a grant from way back in 2017. So you believed in us back then, and it is such a pleasure and honor to know how much you have not only blessed us, but many different programs that are helping others in the area. So thank you for all that you do, and we are so grateful for you being around, and continue blessings on moving forward and growing. Thank you again so much.
All of the honorees are doing such awe-inspiring work, lifting up lives and repairing relationships. Again, they'll be getting an additional $2,000 in grant funding as a part of this celebration. And finally now, just a little more reflection on the 4 decades of investments across the Northland from Sean.
The stories just keep jumping out at you. Folks who were affected and helped 20, 30, 40 years ago who are still speaking about that. Yeah, it's quite a milestone. And then to think about, well, what's that going to look like in 40 more years, right? I always say we don't retire. We're not going to close down. This is the idea of what does the community need in 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It's kind of a pivotal point where it makes you really think value and vision.
So thank you so much to everyone who was part of this celebration. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing what the foundation does in its next 40 years. Have a great night.
Closed captioning for the Touchstone Celebration is provided by Hanft Freedy.